Welcome to this live session. And today we will see in the next 1 hour what questions you have. And let me try to answer those questions. Again, the best way to ask questions is our forum. And please do ask questions in forum. But before we start this, or while we are discussing questions and answers, let us do this thing. So you are supposed to ask questions in forum, but don't compete. Okay. So one friend of yours is asking 2 questions. I should ask 3 questions. Or if somebody is asking you to ask questions, please don't do that. Right. If you have genuine questions, please ask, and we will be very happy to answer your questions. Just don't come under any kind of pressure or impression that asking questions will help you to get certificate. That is not going to happen, right? Your certificate or your exam score depends only on how well you understand the subject and how well you do the assignments and how well you appear for the exams. Is that it has nothing to do with forum, right? Forum is a place where if you are stuck and if you have a difficult questions, you should ask. So I have a set of questions already with me, and I will try to answer as many as I can. So let's see. First question that was asked by Sudhir Reddy Loka, and the question is how those fabrications to be achieved for 100%. So what I understand is, what he wants to ask is the fabrication step that we have seen at the starting of the op-amp lecture or this particular course, how it is going to achieve, like how can we have 100% accuracy. So that is the ideal situation. Do we have ideal op-amp? We don't have ideal op-amp, right? So we cannot have 100% accuracy. So first thing, your answer to your question, this is the answer. You can always have a simulation, and for the simulation, for simulating the MOSFETs or the MEMS, you can always use COMSOL for the simulation, COMSOL multiphysics. And simulation results may give you 100% accuracy, but when you fabricate, if your fabrication steps are not uniform, they are not optimized correctly, you will have different results. So what I mean by fabrication step, these are recipes, right? For example, if you're asked to etch a silicon dioxide and the etch rate is, let's say, 0.5 micron in 10 minutes, right? Then, and if you want to etch 1 micron, you have to stop exactly at 20 minutes. 20 minutes instead of that, if you go for 18 or you go for 22, you will have different results. So that recipe that you create is very important, right? Along with process. So that is the answer, that we cannot achieve 100% accuracy. There is always a tolerance. Okay. So the second question is asked by Anmol, and he is asking us, how is studying deep knowledge of op-amps beneficiary in my engineering, electrical engineering? I mean, if there is any direct implication. You see, deep knowledge, I don't know what is deep knowledge, but I will just say knowledge. When you say about knowledge is always deep. Op-amps are used in designing electronic modules. All right. So understanding op-amps and its application will help you to not only understand from one particular perspective, but also in terms of communication. Right. So you need to understand filters. You need to understand amplifiers. You need to understand oscillators. So these circuits, when you combine together, forms an electronic module, and that's how you can apply those the knowledge obtained in this course for designing those electronic modules. Now, what's the use of those electronic modules? When you integrate a sensor with that, right? For example, let us talk about the solar cell, right? Here, since you are electrical engineer, let me talk about solar cell. So let's say I want to design a table where I will put my mobile. Right, and it should start charging. Table is on the garden, and I want to start charging my mobile. How can I do that? You have to convert the solar energy to electrical energy. You have to design an electronic module. You have to connect to a charger, right? Wireless charging module. So this application, how to create those modules, that will the op-amp will help you to understand those applications, right? So that is my immediate question. Second thing is that even you have a degree in electrical engineering, people in my department, which is electronic system engineering, they come with several background. They come with undergrad in electrical engineering also. When they go for PhD also, we encourage people with electrical engineering, we encourage people with mechanical engineering, we encourage people with electronics engineering and instrumentation engineering. So you never know what knowledge you learn or what you acquire over a period of time where it can be useful. So that is what I understand about understanding. You don't get confused with obtaining or knowledge and direct implement implications of those knowledge, right? Knowledge cannot be directly implemented, it will be always indirectly implemented. All right, and that you will know as you uh, grow a little bit old. I'm sure you are a young student, and not only young heart but also young soul, and strong in physics, right? So you will have some time to understand how can you use your op amps for those applications. Okay. uh,
There is a question from Harshit Singh.
mhm,
Hi sir, you explained about silicon manufacturing process.
mhm.
Can you tell me how silicon sheet, when after fabrication is, they also molded into different shapes for design?
I see. So I think what you are talking about is wafers. It's called silicon wafers, not sheets. And once you have, so how it is designed? So we have seen the silicon mold bowl, right? Silicon bowl is like a rod. Then that rod we have to slice it up. First you have to grind it to make a primary flat. You always have primary flat. Then you have to cut it, slice it. The slicing is done by diamond wire. Diamond wire. Once you slice it, then you have to polish it. So there is a chemical polishing and there is a mechanical polishing. Then there is a lapping. And finally, you have to inspect it. So when you create a primary flat, you can also create a secondary flat depending on the orientation of the wafer, right? So again, it is not a sheet, it is a wafer. And I'm sure you're asking about the wafer. Now, depending on the orientation, depending on the doping, whether it's N type or P type, whether you are doping with P type impurity, it can be boron, or N type where it can be phosphorus. You can have two different kind of chips or wafer, and also depending on the orientation, it can be 100, 111, 110. So that is what it happens. And I think I have taught this thing in the class. We will see. If you have more questions, please ask in the forum, or you can email me as well. So let me take a second question from Amisha, who is a faculty, and the question is how to learn datasheet. So Amisha, my answer is wait, right? Wait for time, wait for the lectures, and you will be taught how to learn or how to read the datasheet, right? We have covered in this particular course how to read datasheet, and that lectures would be in following class, right? So I was just confirming to make sure that what I say is absolutely correct. We will have lectures on datasheet where you will be taught how to learn datasheet.
There is a question from Sai Krishna. How the specification sheets are determined after manufacturing? I think it should be a wafers. What is
when you have a wafer, depending on the diameter of the wafer, depending, like I said, it is again same thing, depending on diameter. So 2-inch, 4-inch, 8-inch, 12-inch, depending on the polishing, whether it's single side polish, double side polish, depending on the doping, N type, P type, depending on orientation, 100, 111. There is nothing else. And yes, depending on the resistivity, a wafer comes with a resistivity 5 to 10 ohm centimeter, right? So there are few of the specifications what you're talking about of a wafer. When you order a wafer, let's say from Universal Wafer, or you can get N type or P type of particular orientation with particular resistivity. So that is how it is. How it is, that is what the question is, right?
Maybe it's not clear. He might be asking about datasheet also, how they make datasheet after they make the IC testing.
Yeah, that is so. After they make the IC, they make the they test it, and then they give you the values in the data sheet. So, like I said, if it is about the data sheet of an IC, we will teach you. If it is about how to collect a silicon wafer or how to order a silicon wafer, then what I told you is you should know what is the application. If you want to create a diaphragm, you have to create what you get a 100. Now, if you want to have a MOSFET, right, n channel or p channel MOSFET, your n channel MOSFET, you will take a p type substrate. If you take a p type p channel MOSFET, an n type substrate. So it's a kind of, depending on what kind of device you want to fabricate, you have to select your initial silicon wafer. And again, silicon wafer comes with a different size. And when I say size, it is always in terms of diameter. For example, what we have learned is a 4-inch silicon wafer with a 500 micron thickness. If it is 2-inch silicon wafer, the thickness will be about 250 microns, right, or close to 200 microns. So that is how it works. Let me answer one more question from R. So Damini. Tell about the general concepts related to GATE exam. So I'm not sure what you want to ask and what general concepts are there regarding GATE exam. What I can what I can help you out is you send me an email and I'll send you the syllabus of the GATE exam, and I'll tell you a few books that you can refer for the GATE exam. There is no general concepts to GATE exam. If your concepts of the lectures that your syllabus that you learn in your undergrad are clear, you can easily crack a GATE exam, right? So concepts are very important. There is no general concept. I don't really either I don't understand what you mean, or what I'm telling you is like uh, the more good you are in your studies, the more sincere you are, the more the concepts you understand in your syllabus, it will help you to crack your GATE exam. That's what I can answer you right now.
There is another question from Harshit Singh. You told about 100 orientations. Is they are randomly decided, or is there something logic behind it?
Now there is a logic behind it, and I want you to find that logic. That's why I deliberately did not say how you can determine 100 or 111. I want you to try it, right? If you still fail in getting the answer, please ask me in a forum. I'll reply to you, or you can send me an email. I'll reply to you, right? But please try first. I have deliberately not told that how you can have 100, right? And I'm very happy you have asked this question. But if you have tried, then I'll reply to you. Send me an email. So let me go to the next question, and that is asked by Mallika Arjun, and it is like, how can edge stop techniques are performed? So you see, edge stop techniques, you can use a boron as an edge stop for silicon. So you can dope the boron, and you can, if you etch the silicon, the silicon etchant will not etch boron. So boron can be used as an etch stop. Silicon dioxide can be used as a mask, right? So the etch stop. So these are the way to stop the etching of silicon. I'm sure that this is what you asked, and I hope that this is what you want to hear. How they are performed. So silicon dioxide you can grow using thermal oxidation. If you want to dope the boron, you can use ion implantation. You can go for diffusion. That's what the processes for doping it. There is another question from Gaurav, and the question is, how does multi-sim software work? Is it created by your team? I really hope, man, that this is created by our team. Yes, I'm really happy that you asked this question. So I'm sure that when the TA were taking your class, you were kind of happy with their presentation, and you thought that it is designed by our team. But that is what our expertise lies in, how to use the multisim, and we make it our own. But fortunately or unfortunately, it is designed by NI, and you can just access it online. So it's a national instrument, NI stands for national instrument. But yeah, thank you, Gaurav. There is another question by Ankush, and Ankush says that students of other private college are very much frustrated Most of the students think that they will never get a job more than 3 lakh package, and company like TCS will hire them only. So please give at least 10 minutes of your valuable time in teaching how to get out of this, because most of the students joining NPTEL are from private colleges. So please guide us. Okay. You should not be frustrated at this point. If you get frustrated, you cannot do anything in life. Okay, that's my first answer to your question. The life brings you at a very different kind of stages. You're not even seen how bad a frustration can be. So don't get frustrated with thinking that you will not get a job. Why not? You should say why not, right? Second is TCS is a really good company, and they have a really good salary package. It is how you perform, how good you are. That is second thing. Uh, Apart from saying about TCS, there are a lot of other companies, right? You just see a list of companies available right in Bangalore, and you can apply for those companies. So don't really get demotivated. The When somebody hires you, answer me this thing. When you have a set of expertise, when your knowledge is clear, what you're talking, you know what you're talking, right? So. Let me tell you a very small thing from my own life. I started my first job for about 6,000 rupees, right? So you see, 6 into 12 is 72,000. It is not even close to 3 lakh package, right? So don't get frustrated. Start somewhere. When you start somewhere, you will reach somewhere. So uh, it does not matter private engineering or government colleges. Yes, it has little bit of effect in the way you are exposed to the environment, right? Some things that one college may have, other college may not, but that's how, and that's why we have this beautiful NPTEL program, so that you can get access to a few of the topics that what I teach to my students, right? So and the same way, I'm sure that there are a lot of courses just learning by which you can get a very good job. And the recently I had a one person who took about 21 different courses, and he was hired in Singapore. So it is not really about, you see, the life is such that we run after a job. The life should be such that we run after knowledge. When you run after knowledge, the job will run after you. Okay, so understand this thing. Don't get frustrated. That's the last thing that I want from a student, to get frustrated, right? Be happy, focus, and if you think that 3 lakh is less for you, apply for GATE, right? Study hard, apply for GATE, clear GATE. You have PSU jobs, right? Apply for IES, Indian Engineering Services. Who is stopping you? It requires undergrad. You go for IAS, right? You go for MTech based on GATE score. You go for PhD. So there are a lot of options, guys. But at the same time, I will not recommend that you just get frustrated because you are not having any job, or your placement cell is little bit weaker than other colleges. Don't have that kind of thoughts in your mind. Like I just gave you a real life example from my own life, and that is after my masters I was working for about 2 years in Vidyanagar, Vallabh Vidyanagar, which is in Gujarat, in a project on developing sensitive and selective ITO sensors, and my salary was 6,000 rupees per month. Okay, so and you just I'm just giving you my example because I'm just teaching this course, but when you really see the life story of successful people, you will see that they start at nowhere, right? We are really lucky that we started somewhere. So don't have these second thoughts about getting frustrated. Okay, and the way you think, the way people will look at you. If you are frustrated with yourself, people can see very easily you're frustrated, right? So when you appear for the interview in a company, this guy is already frustrated, right? So that, how you carry yourself as a man, how you carry yourself as a human being, it's very important, right? As a man, as a woman, as a human. Okay, So I think I took about 6 minutes. I cannot take all 10 minutes of this lecture because I'm restricted with time. So I hope it would help students like you, Ankush, and many of your friends to think a little bit differently and to see the life with a positive approach and be optimistic. Thank you.
There is a question from Harshit Singh. Can you provide us PDF notes? We are from Hindi background, so if you can provide us some PDF documents, it would be great.
Hashit, I need to ask IIT Madras coordinator because they are coordinating the entire NPTEL program. So, because if I put PDF or give to one student, I have to make it online for all. So I don't know whether it is allowed or not. So I have to ask. So I'll get back to you. Maybe it will be good if you. I have your email actually. If you are the same guy, Harshit Singh 089@gmail.com, because I was coming to your question that you asked. So yeah, that first to your answer is to your question. The answer is that I'll ask IIT Madras guy and get back to you. You please send me an email, or you can ask again this on the forum. I'm also marking it here so that once I get the answer, I'll get back to you. You also asked the question if you are the same Harshit Singh. That it's from a long time now. I am watching your lectures. My question is, can op-amp be made to act as used somewhere in fiber or communication systems or techniques? Please do answer. Uh, I also request you to do a live session personally on MOSFET course you have taken previously. Yeah, so live session is generally for a general interaction. Is not focused on particular topic. So I'm not sure about that. But to your first question, yes, you can use the uh, op-amps for communication, fiber optic communication. You can use a photodiode to convert your light to current and or to electrical signal, and then you can design a signal conditioning module which can consist of amplifiers and filter. And if you want to again convert it back to the optical form, you can use LEDs or lasers. So you can use operation amplifier in between as a signal conditioning circuit. That is a answer to your question. I hope you got the answer, but if you're not, do ask in a forum. I have another question from Vegiraju Saranya. And the question is, actually it's a comment, maybe a question. Give some extension to the assignments. you take as much extension as you want, but again, this is not allowed. So the best way to approach this is to ask IIT Madras team. They are the only one to help us edit some of the rules laid down for running the NPTEL program. If there is a possibility of extension, it can be extended for all the students. Again, we need to contact IIT Madras team to get back on this particular question. Same thing goes for the online program also. So because the question that you asked in online, the same question you can ask in the forum. So what's the purpose of online lectures, right? I don't think it's really going to change anything, but we are starting somewhere. We want to explore this as an experiment. That will it help students like you to ask something that you may not be able to ask in forum, right? And how I respond to your questions. I don't know what's the purpose, but I feel that it's always good to do experiments. So this is our first experiment in this year, that we want to have live sessions, and you can ask during this session some questions. So yeah, I will again request my IIT Madras team and see how or whether we can extend time for students to submit assignments. Okay, so I'll get back to you, Vegi Raju. The next question is by Rakesh Pukhote, and he is asked, what are the applications of MEMS? Oh, that is like a universal kind of, like MEMS is everywhere. Where you want to apply? That is my question, right? You can apply in electronics, you can apply in medical, you can apply in communication, you can apply uh, in biology, you can apply in robotics, you can apply in chemical engineering. Lot of application. Now, when I say this means things, let me give you a few examples, right? So, MOSFET, right, that you fabricate, it's a MEMS-based technology, right? And it is a transistor. Now, we talk about a micro-fabricated chip, like for example, a pressure sensor or a diaphragm, right? So, it is also using MEMS-based technology. Then you talk about the mirrors, right? Optical mirrors, again MEMS-based technology. When you talk about a microchip, microfluidic chip for understanding or efficacy of a drug, right? Again, application of MEMS in medicine, right? So you design filters, application of MEMS in communication, right? So there are huge application of MEMS, and it itself is a entire course. If I start teaching application of MEMS, but like I said, there are few applications which I just said, and depending on what area of MEMS based technology you want to work in, you can select that particular application. There are few other students who said we have no question, nothing to ask. One student say about subject. I don't really understand what is that question. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Maybe about the subject. So the subject, you know, right? I want to teach you how op-amps can be fabricated. That's one thing that I want to teach you for sure, because we know how to design the circuits. When it comes to fabrication, we don't know how to fabricate those. So that is one thing I really wanted to teach you. That's one thing. Second thing is, how can you use op-amp for practical applications, whether it's electronic module or whether it is interfacing with sensors or transducers, or if you want to use the op-amp like he asked for the communication system, how can you use it? So I wanted to teach that, and that's why the thing subject came into picture. However, the question that you are asking here, again, I don't see any answer, because for question of nothing I cannot answer. So I can just say that I think you understand the lectures until now are going well, and you don't have questions. There's a faculty who is saying that I have no questions. So I'm very happy that you understood the lectures until now. About digital communication, sorry, just one is asking about digital communication. So I don't know what you are asking about digital communication. It will be always good to ask a question you should elaborate your question so that I can help you to answer the question. Okay, but about op-amp I can ask, so what you want to know about operation amplifier? I am teaching operation amplifier, I'm teaching the application of operation amplifier, I'm teaching the internal block diagram of operation amplifier. Application amplifier would be for oscillators, for filters, for designing different amplifiers, right? So and finally you have to integrate all the things to formulate an electronic module. So that is the application of your operation amplifier. So there is one question from another faculty, Chirag H. Rawal, and need detailed explanation about window detector with mathematical proof. You see, this in live session we cannot do this mathematical proof thing. So what is the best way to do this is, you please ask me in a forum and ask in detail what exactly you want with a mathematical proof, so I can help you out with a detailed answer of that particular question.
One student has asked for your email ID.
Yeah, sure. See, nothing in this digital world is I can hide. You may get my bank account also, but you will not find money, so don't take it. Okay, I'll give you my email ID. I'll just write it down on the screen. Can I write it down? Screen? No. Okay, so I write down on the paper, and I'm sure my handwritings are good. So let us see. Okay, if you read it correctly, write it in a big font. So okay, this is what, okay, I'm telling also, but you can see also. Is H stands for my first name Hardik, J stands for my father's name Jitendra, and you have to just write down J. Last name PANDYA @IISC.ac.in. Again, it's HJPANDYA @IISC.ac.in. Now, having given you email, that doesn't mean that you have to make my inbox full. The emails should be used if you have really genuine question, and somehow in the forum I have missed, or my TA has missed, they missed answering a question. Okay, so but yes, if you are stuck, you can send me an email. I will answer your email if it makes sense, the question makes sense, within 7 days. Within 7 days. Don't get my phone number. Again, you go to the website. You know, right, where I teach. Go to the website, find it out. Email ID is there. Phone number is there. I'm hoping that you are using the understanding of the lectures and performing simulations using multisim. Try to do experiments where you have the facility, so that you have the hands-on experience on how to create electronic modules. We are using a TI board, as you know, and I'm sure that if you are working in a university or engineering college, you can request TI to send you one board where you can perform a quick experiments. So TI is TI has a university program, TI University program, where they donate this electronic component and TI boards for betterment of the students. So I will request you to see if there is a possibility to get a board in your university, so you can easily perform a lot of experiments that we show in the lectures. So if you don't have any questions, we will close now. But if you have any, please do ask in a forum. Let me again reiterate that forum is meant for when you are stuck. If you are stuck, please ask in the forum. Forum is not meant for competition, that I ask 2, you ask 5, another ask 10. It's not like that. Don't come under the impression that asking more questions will fetch you more marks. I don't even know who finally appears in the exam. I don't see that. We only have to create exam paper and assignments, right? The answers are already with the team. The answer for everything is with the team. So don't worry about asking more questions. Ask genuine questions. Ask questions that you cannot solve. Right? For example, this 100110. This is a really interesting question that you have asked, and I want you to find the answer. If you cannot find the answer, I will give you answer in the forum. or we can just have an announcement where we can just give you the answer. So I think there are no more questions, and looking to the present number of questions that we have, which most of the questions I tried to answer, I will close the today's live session, and I will have one more live session somewhere in the end of the course, so that you can ask me a few more questions. Like I said, I am always accessible through the forum that we have through this beautiful NPTEL platform. And now you know my email ID. I hope you ask me a question that I can, which makes sense to me, right? And I wish you all the best for your remaining time for this particular course. Have a great time ahead. Have fun. Bye.